Hey, what's up guys, it's Lost Griff back with another daily video. Today I wanted to kind of talk about something that I think might be a little bit controversial, but I've been seeing a lot of people say some mixed feelings about Stripe, and I'm going to be sharing my personal opinions. Do I think Stripe is OP? Was my tier list correct? And do I think or do I think maybe he's bad? I mean, you never know. So here's what I think about Stripe. So before this video starts, I want to recommend you guys drop a sub. If you guys enjoy commentary videos like this, it'd really help if you guys could go support me in any way you could. Thank you guys so much for all the support recently. I appreciate, the views on the most recent videos, and more commentary videos coming soon. Also, another thing I want to mention is that I'm not a low rank player. I'm a rank 170 Finn, and I'm a rank 90 Stripe right now. I grinded the hell out of him tonight, and I'm just trying to compile all my thoughts into one video. First of all, let's go over his neutral. Stripe has probably one of the best neutrals in the game. In terms of 1v1s at least, he has such a gross neutral that is almost unapproachable by most characters. Even some of the most insane 1v1 characters right now, like Arya, Batman, and Jake, still struggle so hard to get in on Stripe. And this is because his Buzzsaw, despite the cooldown nerf, is extremely strong. It's such a good move, and on maps like Treefort and Sky Arena Platts, it's basically unapproachable, because you can just make it spin on the platform and cover like 1/3 of the map. His disadvantage, admittedly, isn't really that great. I mean, there's not really much you can do to come back or recover very well. You kind of can only really chainsaw, which isn't the best thing ever, but it's really not terrible. And despite the fact that he may not have the best time recovering, he still has good ways to keep people off ledge. Like, he can throw his buzzsaw at the ledge while recovering, so that whenever he gets back on stage or gets back on ledge, he'll hit somebody who chases after him. He also can have a pretty good dare, so it's a decent option whenever somebody tries to challenge you off stage. You can try to go for a dare if you run them out of resources. So his disadvantage isn't great, but it's really not that bad, and it doesn't really mean much whenever you look at how strong his advantage and neutral is overall. And examining just his other moves, like his gun is really good. His dynamite's not too bad. I think his chainsaw is an okay recovery tool. His bite isn't too bad. His jab's pretty good. Just some other moves I use sometimes on this character that I think are worth pulling out sometimes. And I almost forgot his up special as well. His up special is probably his 4th or 5th best move. Definitely really strong despite the fact that it's broken. It's supposed to be basically a move in which you latch onto people, but for some reason it doesn't work that way. All of these things combine to make Stripe, in my opinion, the best character in the game. I actually would argue his 1v1 strength is almost as dominant as Batman at his peak. I really think that whenever you have all these projectiles, you have ways to keep people in the air, you have cheese, you have a really safe set of projectiles, ways to keep people in the air, ways to wait people's resources out that are really easy, and ultimately, he's a really easy character. I mean, I'm level 14 on this guy, and I feel like a god playing him. Like, I feel untouchable playing as this character. Even though he does have some even matchups, like for example, Arya, Batman, and Finn, I think are all pretty even for him. Basically, all of the low frame data characters or assassins have a pretty even time against them. If not, he has a slight advantage. But every single low tier in this game, some examples come to mind, like Rain Dog really struggles against him. I know Retro specifically, one of the best Rain Dog players, has actually considered quitting because of how good Stripe is in the current meta. He's just an insane character, and I feel like he just completely dominates the characters that aren't near the top. And then whenever he's against the people at the top, he's either even against them or has a slight advantage, which means he has not only an insane matchup spread, but also just he's a really safe pick into pretty much any character. So you might be asking, how would I nerf him? Well, the first thing I would nerf about him is that his forward air definitely does a little bit too much damage. I think his forward air should be lowered in terms of damage by 2 or 3%, and then have another probably 3 or 4 frames of end lag added onto it, just so it's a little bit of a weaker move. I think they should take his buzzsaw down to 2 and then make the cooldown what it was before, so that you have 2 buzzsaws max and then it's on a 10-second cooldown. That would be a perfect way to change it. I think gun's a great move, but I think they could add another 2nd or 2 of cooldown onto it just to make it a little bit weaker. I honestly think they should fix his up special as well. Definitely a great move, but needs it fixed. They should buff his dynamite and make it a little bit more effective. They need to lower his speed a tiny bit. As much as it's reasonable for him to be so fast, he is way too fast. And I think that he's just genuinely uncontestable because of how fast his moves are and how fast he is. Another big thing they should do is that they should definitely add a few frames of startup onto his gun. Maybe 3 or 4 frames onto his startup, just so that whenever people are in tumble and Stripe immediately goes for gun, they at least have the chance to dodge through it first and read it, so that there's a little bit more counterplay. Because right now, it's really insane. And then the final fix I present that could definitely help make gun a little bit more balanced is definitely making School Me Once, which is the projectile block perk, work on gun. And also Buzzsaw, which basically means that so that whenever you're in the air, he can't just double gun you to the top and kill you with it. Sure, it'll still make his ladder combos fine because you'll be able to just gun up special or up air and then gun again, you know what I mean? So that'll still be a thing, but you won't have as much, you know, hopelessness that comes from, you know, getting hit into a hit stun, getting put to the corner and just instantly bop, 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 dead. You know what I mean? Definitely needs another few frames on it and also needs a perk to counter it. I know this is a massive list of nerfs for Stripe, and I understand that, but I just want you guys to know that, like, the character that's not only so good at neutral and advantage, but also is infuriating to play against, like Stripe. Let's be real, Stripe is a lot of just, you're not allowed to play buttons, such as gun, such as buzzsaw, you know what I mean? Gun, basically moves that make you feel like, make you want to drop your control and just be like, what am I even supposed to do? You know what I mean? Moves like that, which honestly, there's really only one of, if not any, on most characters. Like Batman's is basically Batarang, which is super frustrating. You can dodge through it a million times, make it last forever, and it weakens you. Slingshot, whenever Tom and Jerry is one of the best characters, was insane. Arya's up special, etc, etc. There's been moves that have been like that, but having more than one on a character, like Stripe, just feels so frustrating to play against, and I really do think they need to nerf down this character. Ultimately though, as fun as Stripe is right now, I just really think they need to do some things to work on his character. I think he's an awesome character to play and he's very rewarding, but every single time I try out Stripe, I just feel like such a douche for, you know, playing against people because I beat players that I genuinely don't deserve to beat. Beating top 500 players when I know I wouldn't beat them on my Finn, which is my genuinely, you know, main character that I don't feel like is super overtuned. And then two-stocking people I know are inherently leagues better than me at this game just doesn't feel that great, and I do feel like it's a character thing. In the end, guys, let me know what you think. Do you think Stripe is OP? Do you think he needs a nerf? Let me know in the comments below. I love to hear your guys' thoughts, and I always love to discuss these things with you because you guys always got some very interesting things to say. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.